Hello everyone, it's Deb's Collings back again with another video, how to nurture your connection to your higher self and why it is so important at this time. Guys, truly you have all the wisdom you need, all the information you need inside you. It's with your higher self and you can reconnect back in a more palpable way now more than ever. The planet's even assisting us with that, okay? Now, if you have not watched my Knowing the Bigger Picture video, I would highly recommend it at this point because it's going to explain what's happening on the planet, and this will further help you realize why nurturing your connection with your higher self is really important right now, okay? So there are two main things going on. One is we're in cleanup mode of our old lives. We're actually integrating wisdom from across lifetimes, guys. It's huge what we're doing. And we're also naturally realigning back to self. I mean, some of us are getting headaches and getting readjusted in the brain, in the mind, etc. Our DNA is coming online, and that's because we're evolving and moving back to that direct connect with the higher self. Now, I'm speaking to you from that place. This happened to me some years ago, and I live with that direct link to my higher self. That's why I know what it is, and I know how it functions for us, a human aspect of us. That's even why I could tell you what's going on in the bigger picture, because I'm directly linked to that information. Okay, so and you know, I also work one-on-one with clients, so I help them reconnect back and to recognize we're already connected. The funniest thing is this: most people don't feel connected because of their old life gunk, their old past life energies, because that acts like a filter around your heart. And when we're connecting to the higher self, we use our senses, our instincts, our innate wisdom, and it's all in the heart. And that can seem very fuzzy if someone's got a lot of old life energies, past life energies, kind of it's almost like a filter around the heart. It stops a lot of the feelings and the instincts coming in, okay? But when you clean that old energy up, you naturally start getting your instincts and wisdom uh, start to flow anyway. So your higher self is always there, has never not been there. It is the first go-to for the human. The first go-to guide. Some people call it your guardian angel. I mean, of course, there's the angelic realms, but your first go-to is your own higher self. And when you connect and direct link to that, you will find you have access to your multidimensional selves, actually, like more of who you are. And I know there's a lot of you out there that remember your galactic origins or remember your angelic connections. So, I mean, my clients definitely remember this, but don't recognize how it's linked to them. Well, once you get connected to your higher self, you start to recognize more of what you present, what you are, as opposed to who you are, because you're multifaceted. You're a multi-dimensional being of light. And the nurturing your connection with your higher self is going to give you access to your incredible wisdom and your innate powers, etc. As an individual. It's You're not an individual though. This is the funny thing. You're more of a soul matrix, which is why I explain it in my Knowing the Bigger Picture, which I will link below. So, um, you know, really understanding that this is very important right now and making it your priority is very key because it's already happening, and to partake in that will help you quicken it. And the sooner you get access to your wisdom and and your knowing, then you're going to be able to walk through your life with that wisdom, and it feels so different to live that way. You don't live in doubts, you don't cycle in your mind. And for me, I don't even have questions about my life because my higher self has always gifted me with that wisdom before I've even got a question in my human self. So it's a bit of a journey to get there, and everybody will walk that journey different. It can be done quicker than ever. I'm aware of this because I'm seeing it with clients. And just know the thing that blocks it, or the thing that seems to block the connection, is the mind, guys. The mind has all sorts of expectations on how we should do it, and how it should be. And the mind doesn't understand that because it's the wrong software. It's like it's more of an earth limited software. When you start accessing the quantum, your wisdom, your other lives, etc., that's more heart based. That's totally not of mind, of the human linear mind. So just recognize that you may even be connecting with it now, and not realizing it. Often when I'm with clients and we take them on a journey, they're able to link, and they don't realize, oh my God, actually I've been connected to that. I've been doing it, but they didn't recognize it was them. So I'm going to tell you some simple steps that I used, that I've given to many people, and it's worked for me. Now, you'll find your own way, and if you haven't found it yet, obviously you haven't, because you wouldn't be looking at this video if you found a way to do this. But just know, follow your instincts about things and keep things simple, guys. And don't have your mind making you feel like everything's out there, that you've got to figure everything out, when truly, if you nurture your own connection with your higher self, you will absolutely access what you need. You do have everything you need inside there, absolutely. And when I'm with a client, that's what I see my job to be, to help them back to themselves. Not for me to answer everything for them, because I've done it with me. That means you've got the option of doing it with you. And because I know the time we're in on the planet, of course, I'm putting this video out now because I'm just helping remind people, hey, don't forget, it's all about you, your human self, with your own higher self. Okay? Um, so let me go through the simple steps I used, and I was very consistent with doing this. And my intention was very pure. It was about me, my human self, connecting with my higher self. It wasn't about me going outside of that. So I kept the intention very pure before I would do this. Okay. And I would do it daily, at least twice a day. Okay. But if you really want that link to yourself back, and you really want your wisdom, then it's got to be a priority. Okay. So, first thing you need to do is this: acknowledge it's a facet of you. It's a part of you, okay? If you don't do that, or you don't feel you can do that, then your higher self can't be one with you, because it will honor what you're choosing. I'm separate from my higher self. I'm separate from my own wisdom. I'm separate from my soul. When you have those thoughts and those beliefs, or those mindsets, then your higher self kind of, will honor your experience and not choose to connect so palpably. So, first, number one thing to do is acknowledge it as part of you. Okay, once you do that, you keep all those doorways open, that energy open to that clear connect. Second thing I did was I listened to Solfeggio Harmonics. Now, these are ancient frequencies, all different hertz, and I would use these frequencies, and I would listen with headphones on, to help vibe up my brain. It's the wrong word really, but it helped. Listening to the solfeggio, basically it forces the left and right brain hemispheres to speak, if you could say that. And having more whole brain functioning, having more wiring between those two hemispheres, enables you to access or decode, could I say, the wisdom that your higher self shares. Okay, now that is a journey in and of itself, but I will say this: I know solfeggio has basically wired my brain different, which meant that I could access my wisdom. And it's been phenomenal, actually. So I would listen to that every day, a couple of times a day. And in fact, sound any sound healing, sound frequencies, I see that as the healing for what might be perceived as a future. Sound is phenomenal. It can reset your body very quickly because it does shift your body through the brain. So I always felt that the brain needed to be what we might say vibed up or recalibrated. And something I noticed when I used to listen to Solfeggio was it shifted my pineal gland. That, and you know, that's the radio station to your higher self. So it actually changed how I was functioning there. And it brought my holographic sight online too. So, you know, when I'm with a client now, if they ask me a question, I can look at layered um, information underneath something. I can look at energetic origins of things. And I truly feel that listening to solfeggio in part helped my brain and helped this functioning come online easier for me. And remember, it is a sentient process. It's naturally happening for everybody anyway. But if you start partaking in it by listening to those solfeggio sounds, guys, it's going to make a difference. And it's also going to bring more healing to the body naturally because those harmonics are very pure. Okay? So that was the second thing I did. The third thing I did was I used this vision. Now, it's very simple, but again, I set the pure intention. It was about me, my human self, with my higher self. So, see if you can picture this up as we're talking right now. So, where you are is your human self. Imagine just above you, maybe like one meter or so, a golden version of you. So, it's still you, but it's your golden higher self, golden white. There's white in it. And your face, like your human, is inside your higher self. So if you can create that vision, that energetic vision, then it's like you're saying, okay, higher self, I know you're there. So I would see myself just above me, glowing golden with my face there. And what I would do is this. I would use a golden infinity symbol, which is sacred geometry, and sacred geometry creates effects in the physical world. It's kind of like energy from spirit that can be used in this world. I would use a golden infinity. Gold is the energy of the soul, and the infinity loop brings two things into it calibrates two things, vibrates them, harmonizes them. All right. So I would use it. I would see it between my higher self just above me and my human self. And I would draw that golden infinity, that golden number 8, and I would see these two parts of me connected via that geometry of the golden infinity. Because I know it works. It works. You can use the golden infinity in a lot of ways. You can use different colored infinities, but the infinity symbol itself, just know it harmonizes two things. So why would I not use that between my higher self and my human self? I knew about it, I used it, and it's worked for me. Okay? So in this vision, I would see that golden infinity and I would see myself there. The next thing I would do is I would open my crown chakra, the top of my head, and I would envision myself pulling my light, that golden white soul light, down through my head into every corner of my body. Like I would pull it into my cellular structure. I would see my cells opening up and receiving it, knowing it was me that I was receiving. It was like enlivening this part of me that's really already inside. But by seeing this vision, it helped me experience pulling myself, feeling myself, pulling it in, basically, feeling that I was in here. Okay. So then I would just take time to receive me. I would call down these frequencies and I would be like, okay, I'm connecting to myself. I know I have access to everything I need. I'm pulling it in right now. I'm honoring it. I'm making time for it. I'm nurturing that connection with my own higher self. So I would do this. Sometimes it would only be 5 minutes. Sometimes I'd be lying there for like 45 minutes. But whilst I did the vision, I would just put the solfeggio on. So I was doing the two things at once, and it was profound. And in fact, one day, I've told some of my clients this, but one day what happened to me was I was doing that. And as I was doing it, I heard this voice say, I'm here. I'm with you. I'm here. And I had got this complete shudder and recognition that I had actually integrated this direct link to my higher self and that it was me. And I felt it was me. That was even more profound because I felt like it's got like a soul signature. It felt like my frequencies. It didn't feel like anything outside of me. And that was because I feel I had the pure intention that I was connecting to my own higher self. It was very pure, so nothing can come in to you and connect with you if it's not of you when you set a clear intention. So you see, and from that day, it's been profound because, again, I learned to live without questions because I started to realize, oh my gosh, my wisdom's here. And then when I was with clients, it was like, oh, wow, oh, my higher self's linked to theirs. There's like this collective field that where we're all connected. And I kept seeing, and then basically with a client's higher self, I could direct link to theirs because I was linked to mine. Oh boy, it opened doors. It helped me access more of me in the other realms, you could say, more of my galactic self, because I'd remembered a lot about those facets of me. It was amazing. And I know those steps did it for me. Now, it took me a couple of years, but I don't think it would take people that now. I really feel this high energy coming on the planet is assisting you guys to do this sooner. We're in a quickening, guys. We need to get on our own bandwagon, and the first thing you do is make sure you are nurturing your wonderful connection with your higher self. Make it so real that it lands in you, and that way you will know what to do in your life. You won't need somebody to tell you or give you wisdom. You have your own wisdom. You it's you with you. You've always been looking for yourself. A lot of people say to me in sessions, I feel lonely, I feel separated. Well, when you're with your higher self, you can never, ever feel lonely. It's only that we blocked it off from it was almost like old baggage from old lives that filters the heart. You can't feel it and you feel disconnected. All right. It's actually simpler than people recognize. And remember, it's not something you're really doing. It's already who you are. So more it's a matter of letting go of the old, including the expectation the mind has around being directly connected to your own higher self. So yeah, look, it feels great to live that way, guys. And it feels, I know everybody can have it if they want it. It's a conscious choice. And it's something obviously I help people with and I'm passionate about. When you've done something yourself and you live that way, then you basically offer that template to someone else when you're with them, or even as I'm speaking to you now, it's a template that I've used that helped affect that change for me. Now, a couple of things I would mention here of why it's important at this time. And I did mention my video, Knowing the Bigger Picture, that has information in it about why. But I want to share this, and this is very big. Most people are looking for a relationship, a fulfilling relationship, a love relationship. And listen to this, guys. I'm going to pause here. So really feel this for me. All relationships reflect the one you have with your own higher self. Okay? So what that means is when you're one with you and you have that pure connection, you will attract a higher vibrational person, a partner, a purer relationship because you've already made sure that the one with your own self is pure, connected, and very real. Now, a lot of people are looking for someone to complete them, to fix them, to fill a gap. they've got conditional relationships because they've been looking for that, okay? But guys, if you truly want to, if you want to find true love, you'll only find it once you've actually linked with your own higher self, because then it can be reflected in another on the outside, or it's perceived as being outside, but even the person on the outside, it's not really, it's a reflection of you. Now, I know this because I'm living this truth with my husband and my son. We have that pure connection, but we don't have all of these fixed conditions around the way we are with each other. We operate in like a team environment, you could say, energetically, but we also honor each other individually. And we also call each other out on um, our crap. If you know, if we are trying to project something onto each other, then quickly we're like, oh, yep, no, that's my stuff. I don't need to do that with you. So it's kind of funny. We keep each other honest, and I know it's because we are all linked to our own higher self. It keeps relationships purer, and that drama, all that stuff goes away, guys. That drama is there because it shows you where you're not with your higher self. It shows you where you're not honoring yourself. You haven't actually connect with yourself first. You've looked outside for that love, outside for that connection. Well, that love can come from the outside and purer when you are one with your higher self. And that is a very, very important thing to share with you, because people are looking for that and they don't realize that it's a direct reflection. You know, relationships on the outside are a direct reflection of the one they have with their own higher self, their own spirit, their own soul. Knowing that, you might want to make it a priority to be one with your higher self, because it's, yeah, it's going to affect many facets of your life. And everybody wants their wisdom right now, and your higher self has your wisdom. That's it. You already have access, or you already have that inside you. All right. So I hope this helps, guys. And feel free to ask me some questions. So really, the function of this video is to tell you how I did it. I've shared it with many people and they've managed to do it. And it's on automatic anyway, so you can partake in that path in a way that's really going to make it real for you. The timing is there. And if you know it affects all other relationships, then it's even more important, isn't it? So yeah, ask away. Know I acknowledge your presence on the planet at this time, and take care of yourself, guys. Nurture your connection with your own higher self, because you really do have access to everything you need inside, and you're going to work that out. Bye for now, guys. Namaste.